Why are you getting it? Please go and sit. Go and sit.
Rishika ma'am already है.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're there, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm okay.
Okay, fine.
Welcome.
సోఫాలు ఇట్లా రావాలి, 2 సోఫాలు
ముందుకు రావాలి.
ఆ సోఫాలు అలాగే పెట్టి 2 సోఫాలు ఇలా ఇంకొకరు రావాలి. అక్కడే ఉంది మేడం, అక్కడే ఉంది మేడం. అడగండి మరి, మీటింగ్ లో ఉంటారు కదా, ఇప్పుడు చెయ్యాలా మరి 1+4 ఇప్పుడు మీటింగ్ లో ఉండి మీరు చేస్తారా మరి? అడిగి తెచ్చుకో. 3 o'clock ఎంతమంది అటెండ్ అయితేను జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి. ఆన్ చేశారా ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో?
చూడండి సౌండ్ రాదు ఎంత కత్తిరి పెట్టాలో లేదు చూడండి మేడం ఆఫీస్ వస్తారా
అక్కడానికి
41 participant already joined. Soon object soon. Photos
Start video. Audio mute.
అక్కడికి ఇక్కడికి పెద్ద తేడా ఉంది దూరంలో
స్పూన్ ఏందే గంత చిన్నగా ఎంతసేపు తినబెట్టాల్సి వస్తుంది.
కూర్చున్నావు దీని మీద కూర్చున్నావు జడేసుకోమా ధనూప్ లేచాలే బద్ది మచ్చి కుక్కి చిన్న చిన్న ఇది పోయిందని బాధ
రేపు సీట్ తీసుకొని రావాలి కదా ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఇంటి నుంచి ఎందుకు ఈ నుంచి పోదాం కదా ఎందుకు
అరే అరే ఈ ట్యూబ్లైట్ కి ఏమైంది ఇట్లా వస్తున్నా ఇది ఒత్తుడికేనా నాకు చూసిన
డోంట్ టచ్
ఈ ఫోన్ మీద ఎక్కి ఇట్లా తొక్కుతున్నాను ఇట్లా ఇట్లా పట్టింది ఇట్లా ఇస్తుంది ఇట్లా పడుతున్నది ఇట్లా ఇస్తుంది ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది అంత బూచే బూచె ఎట్లా కదా ఎట్లా బూచి బూచి ఎట్లా అనేది
Very good morning, friends. Friends, we'll start in next 2-3 minutes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening. Please be patient. We'll start in next couple of minutes. And I request all of you to kindly mute your microphones.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon, and I'm sure today's session is going to be wonderful. As usual, we have Ramya ma'am with us once again, and she's going to take us through beautiful ways to overcome post-COVID behavioral issues of our children. And my dear friends, I request you to make this session as interactive as possible. Please keep asking questions, and you can type it in the chat box, and Ramya ma'am will address it. Thank you, ma'am. We'll start in 2 minutes, friends.
Namaskaram to everybody. Good afternoon. Am I visible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Thank you for the confirmation. Sorry, my voice is gone for a toss. I think it's a change in the weather. So everybody is going through that. I'm going through it as well. So if my voice sounds horrible, please try and adjust. There's nothing much I can do about my voice. Okay? But do let me know if the slides are not moving. Do let me know if your videos. I would request all of you to be on mute. I would request all the participants to be on mute, please. Hi everybody, I'm sorry. I've kept everybody on mute because in virtual world, it gets very challenging to, have multiple people talk. Sometimes we don't even know that the mic is on and we are still talking. That is exactly why I just went ahead and did a mute. But you're free to unmute and ask me questions like Dibba ma'am had said. Okay, so we'll start our journey with the topic, the most critical topic, most challenging topic of all times. We're not talking about COVID, but the effect of COVID on the behavior aspect when it comes to our kids, our children. Okay, so you have been, you've been a live example, you've been a live spectator to the change, the drastic change that you've seen in the children, pre-COVID and post-COVID, correct? So nobody else can know it better than you. Hence, hence your contribution in the class is quite critical. Having said, I will initially share a few insights of why it is important and why it is not just our iris which is going through difficult times handling behavior of children. The whole world is going through this difficult times. Okay, so I think that should give you a solace. So we'll start our journey. Do let me know if the slide has moved because I just now changed the slide. Can you see it move?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm going to first start with a video to play for all of you. Do let me know if you can see it.
Remember to subscribe and miss an update from First
Children, what is behavior?
Can you see it? Can you hear it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
What is behavior disorder in children? Behavior disorder.
I'd appreciate if you have your scribbling pads and pens handy. A lot of inputs in these videos will come. You can make a note of them. Okay.
And children are defined as a pattern of persistently disruptive behaviors that cause problems at home, school, and in social situations. Children with behavioral disorder give parents a hard time by persistent impulsivity, hyperactivity, defiance, or even criminal activity. What causes behavior disorders in a child? 1. Low birth weight and premature birth contribute to challenging behavior in children later in life. 2. Behavior disorders are more common in boys than in girls. 3. Children who exhibit anger or aggression at a young age are more likely to have behavioral issues later in life. 4. Dysfunctional families have been linked to behavioral disorders in children and adults. 5. Behavioral problems are often associated with trouble in reading and writing in children. 6. Children with intellectual disabilities are twice as likely as other children to develop behavioral problems. 7. Brain scans show that children with ADHD have less activity in the brain center that regulates attention. Common behavior disorders found in kids. 1. ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It affects boys more than girls at an early age. Symptoms include disorganization, difficulty in focusing, following instructions, and processing information, inability to sit still, and impulsive behavior. 2. Odd, Oppositional Defiant Disorder. It normally starts before the age of 8 years or up to 12 years. Symptoms include short temper, arguing, annoying, being resentful, and blaming others for mistakes. 3. Conduct Disorder, CD. 5% of 10-year-old children have OCD. Symptoms include breaking the rules and delinquent behavior, physical aggression, and irritability. How can behavior disorders be treated? Parental education. It entails teaching parents how to respond to their children and providing a broad perspective on the issue. Family therapy. The entire family is assisted in improving communication and problem-solving skills. Cognitive behavioral therapy. It assists the child in gaining a new perspective on their situation in order to control their thoughts and behavior. Social training. The child is taught the necessary social skills to get along with others. Anger management. This treatment focuses on recognizing signs of anger or growing frustration and developing appropriate coping skills. Treatment of associated problems. A child who has a learning disability as well as a behavioral disorder will benefit from the learning intervention. Medication. In extreme cases, medical intervention is required to control impulsive behavior. If your child...
Only audio is coming. Ma'am, the video is not playing, ma'am. Only the audio is coming actually.
Oh, I wish you had told me earlier. That is exactly why I kept asking. Give me a moment. I'll play that for you again. But I wish you could have told me earlier. That's okay. But I'll play that for you because this is an important video. I want you to make your notes.
Video play me. No, it will play, madam.
Do let me know if you're able to see. Hold on.
Common behavioral problems.
Audible?
Yes, ma'am. Video also coming. Audio coming.
Can we all go on mute, please? Can we all go on mute, please? Thank you. Thank you.
In children. What is behavior disorder in children?
I again repeat, it'll be nice if you can have a scribbling pad pen handy. Make some short, quick notes. Then we can probably exchange and talk about it.
Behavior disorder in children are defined as a pattern of persistently disruptive behaviors that cause problems at home, school, and in social situations. Children with behavioral disorder give parents a hard time by persistent impulsivity, hyperactivity, defiance, or even criminal activity. What causes behavior disorders in a child? 1. Low birth weight and premature birth contribute to challenging behavior in children later in life. 2. Behavior disorders are more common in boys than in girls. 3. Children who exhibit anger or aggression at a young age are more likely to have behavioral issues later in life. 4. Dysfunctional families have been linked to behavioral disorders in children and adults. 5. Behavioral problems are often associated with trouble in reading and writing in children. 6. children with intellectual disabilities are twice as likely as other children to develop behavioral problems. 7. Brain scans show that children with ADHD have less activity in the brain center that regulates attention. Common behavior disorders found in kids. 1. ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It affects boys more than girls at an early age. Symptoms include disorganization, difficulty in focusing, following instructions, and processing information, inability to sit still, and impulsive behavior. 2. Odd, Oppositional Defiant Disorder. It normally starts before the age of 8 years or up to 12 years. Symptoms include short temper, arguing, annoying, being resentful, and blaming others for mistakes. 3. Conduct Disorder, CD. 5% of 10-year-old children have OCD. Symptoms include breaking the rules and delinquent behavior, physical aggression, and irritability. How can behavior disorders be treated? Parental education. It entails teaching parents how to respond to their children and providing a broad perspective on the issue. Family therapy. The entire family is assisted in improving communication and problem-solving skills. Cognitive behavioral therapy. It assists the child in gaining a new perspective on their situation in order to control their thoughts and behavior. Social training. The child is taught the necessary social skills to get along with others. Anger management. This treatment focuses on recognizing signs of anger or growing frustration and developing appropriate coping skills. Treatment of associated problems. A child who has a learning disability as well as a behavioral disorder will benefit from the learning intervention. Medication. In extreme cases, medical intervention is required to control impulsive behavior. If your child exhibits challenging behavior, consult their pediatrician before taking any strict decisions.
Ramya madam, kindly unmute.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Thank you. I also went on mute. Okay, thanks for the update that I was on mute. So now that you saw the video, why do you think, my first question, why do you think I played the video for the first thing I did was to play the video, number one. Why do you think I did it? Second, what has been your takeaway from this video? Anybody can answer. Unmute, introduce yourself and answer. Why do you think I played this video first?
Changes in children behavior, ma'am.
Okay. Can you add a little more, ma'am?
And health issues. Some new health issues are arising.
That means we are not the only one who's going through this.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
And we are the children who are coming to us, they are coming with problems that are prior there. See, there is a difference in developing one when they come to school.
Yes.
You getting the difference? There is one where they are developing when they come to school, and one when they develop something which is already there in them and they're coming to school.
Okay.
So the whole intent of showing you this video was to make you realize that you're not the one to be blamed all the time.
Okay.
So do not blame yourself for everything. The whole intent of doing this video was to tell you everybody has some kind of a setback already in place. When they come to us, we are able to see it more better. Just because we see it doesn't mean it started from us. Doesn't mean you ought to be blamed. Yes. So as a teacher, you have your moral responsibility of raising a red flag. That is all you can do.
Yes.
Am I understood by everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
So do not get into this blame game thing. Do not beat yourself. for, for challenges that you're facing in school and you're not able to rectify them, because it takes a village to rectify an answer. When I say village, I literally mean village. In village includes teachers, in village includes friends, in village includes family, extended family, correct? So when the whole village comes together, then the child gets rectified. So my humble submission to all you beautiful teachers here, you're doing a fabulous job. Be proud of what you're doing. Don't get into this thing of blaming yourself. This is the only intent of starting this video. There are lots of issues that we all come with, but they surface only when the time comes. So it surfaces in front of you, you raise an alarm to the parent. That is all you're supposed to do. Am I clear? Beautiful. So let's start our journey. I'm going to start off with this. So what was your takeaway from the video, if I may ask? Anything else that you can add? Anybody else who would like to add something? Anything from the video that you understood? I know it had too much data, but whatever little you could understand.
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, I think there is some changes in their behavior due to which their education is getting. Yeah.
That means if a child, I remember last class, whenever that I remember having done, I remember they said they don't write. My children don't write. They don't like writing.
Because they are COVID born children, ma'am. All these children are.
Even if they're not COVID born children, for example, like me, I was born way before COVID came. I myself, I got 2 children. Okay. But I was equally bad with writing. Okay. So there are many factors that affect a child from writing. So that is something we all need to be careful about. Right? So let's move on. I'll show you a few more important informations for you to get an idea of what we're talking about. Okay. Let me know if you can see the slide and then we'll move on. I just now showed you the video here.
Yes, we are able to see the slide now.
Excellent. Thank you, Ma.
Yeah.
Now, from the video comes out this important element. There are many factors that make or break a particular issue. Okay, a pattern. So we need to understand what are the factors that could be a contribution to the behavioral aspect for the child. It necessarily need not always mean he's lazy. It necessarily need not mean that parents are going through a separation. It need not necessarily mean anything in particular. Okay. So this is a critical element all of you need to understand. So there are school factors, there is biological factor, there is demographic factor, there are other factors and family factors. Do you see all of this? And it's simple.
Yes, natural calamities also.
Natural calamities. So any disaster, any disaster could be could be an additional factor of, a behavioral trauma. I'll give you a very factual but a very true example. Actually, it's not an example, it's a fact. I have 2 daughters. My second daughter, when I conceived, was told that she could be a Down syndrome baby. Okay. So when my blood test, and people who are pregnant, they have their regular blood test. So when I had my blood test, it gave an indication that the fetus might be a Down syndrome. So it was a very important decision to be made whether I should keep the child or should I abort the child. So for me, it was a very very confused state of affairs. I took many opinions. Then I came up to one conclusion, that there is something called an amniotic fluid test, where they put a syringe near your near the in your womb, the sac, and they put liquid, and then there's a test that happens. Reason why I'm giving you so much of data. We expected that when the amniotic fluid gets tested, I will surely know whether it's a Down syndrome baby or a normal baby. God's grace, it took 2 weeks time. They came back with a report saying it's a normal baby. Great. Now my child is growing. She's 15 years, 1-5. I'm making it very clear to the teachers. So please listen to me carefully. You are handling toddlers. You're handling chotu fellows. I'm saying sometimes even symptoms come after. She's 15 years of age and I can still see a few elements because I'm also into psychology. I can read. I'm able to see signs where she's lacking. I'm able to see signs where, oh, this is not a connect, this is a disconnect here. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? So where did this factor come?
Yes, ma'am.
This must have come from during the pregnancy.
Pregnancy. Yes.
But when is it affecting? Now.
Now.
15 years. You
Yes,
getting it?
Yes.
So do not get into this thing saying that if it is not shown till now, it will not show later, or if it's showing now, it will not show later. I'm just saying behavior patterns can come up anytime. I'm just trying to tell you, when she was young, I was not able to see it. 15, I'm able to see it. You are able to see a few changes in the kids now, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Correct. You are lucky you're able to see. I could not see. Maybe those states were not there. Maybe they came on site just now. Could be my mistake also. All I'm trying to highlight is there are multiple factors that get into a child for a reason of why they behave in a certain way. It need not necessarily be laziness. Okay? So whenever we are focusing on these kids, a lot of homework needs to be done before you even talk to the parent. Are you all with me on this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So when I say lot of homework to be done,
Yes, ma'am.
from your end, you should check if the child is good when he's playing. When he's playing outside, is he happy? When he's playing inside with the blocks, is he happy? How is he when he's in the van? How is he when he's eating his food? Is he very happy child when he's eating food? How is he when he's sharing things? So all these, when they are a tick off, then comes the family and the biological factor. Am I understood?
Yes.
So ये सब जब तक tick नहीं होता है, we can't open our mouth.
Okay.
Okay, so first homework, preliminary homework to be done by us. Then we will jump into the next level where we involve the parent. Fair enough?
Yes.
Right. Lot of times children are very good with imaginary figures. Children are very good with delusions. Children are good with imagination. They can make their own beautiful stories. You will be shocked. You might not be a good storyteller. They might excellently prove themselves to be right. So you have to do a lot of homework to figure out the data that he's giving. Is it accurate or is it a made imagination? So a teacher should be well equipped when they're handling behavior pattern children. Please be well equipped, be open-minded, be well equipped with right questions to be asked. Are you understood? Are you able to understand me?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
And questioning skills should not be questioning to the point. Questioning should be soft. Questioning should be more like inquisitiveness. Questioning should be not like interrogation. It should be like discussion. You'll get a lot of data. So that's another practice that all of you need to do. I'm sure to a very large extent, you people are already doing it. Great job. Now let's move on to a most important element. Do you see the slide move?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see something written there on the topmost? An average
toddler listens to a no 400 times in a day.
and a teenager listens to 4,000 times.
Yes.
Out of the day. No, but that's true. Unknowingly or knowingly, it is being proven. The data says And that's why I put the facts in the bullet points. Do you see? When somebody tells you no, what goes into your mind? Rejection, frustration, humiliation, nagging, discouragement,
And
right?
disconnect.
A disconnect. Disconnect because I will never come to you and ask you again. Because each time I come, you will tell me no. So when I know the answer is no, why will I go to you again? I'm not stupid, no? So there is a disconnect. So half of the time the material will not come to you, data will not come to you. There is a beautiful way of saying no by not telling a no. That is something all of us need to learn. No comes very natural. It is human. But especially when you're handling children, a beautiful age that they are in, this word no is a very hard-hitting rejection. Why am I saying this? Because this also is one of the reasons that can add a little fuel in the fire of behavior. Right? How many of you when you were younger? Answer this to your own self. How many of you when you were younger? When I say young, I say really young, not teenagers. Have gone ahead and done things which your mom never wanted you to do. Have done. All the more because my mom didn't want me to do, I did it. For example, stealing. Our parents have taught us not to steal, remember?
Yes, ma'am.
चोरी नहीं करना चाहिए, गंदी बात है. I don't understand what is ganda. For me, everything is ganda. I remember still, I was hardly in my 6th or 7th class. I woke up 1 o'clock in the morning, went and stole mangoes, 25 mangoes in 7th class, 25 mangoes across the road, across the street that I lived. 25 mangoes, 1 o'clock in the night. Why am I giving you this example? When there are too many no's in your head, you want to prove them wrong. Yes or no?
Yes, it's true.
And to prove you wrong, I will do anything that it takes. Anything. I will not even worry it's 1 o'clock in the night. I will not even worry it is dark. I will not even worry if there are snakes. I will not even worry if I'm getting caught. I just have to prove myself that I'm good. That is why the power of no is so strong that it can hamper the growth of the child. Self-doubt will start coming. Are you all with me on this?
Yes.
Right. Now, a few important elements that I wanted to show you here. Okay. As a teacher, as a second parent, you have to know this. You are already seeing it, but I'm reiterating it. Signs there could be a possibility of a behavior issue. Temper once in a while losing is different, but losing it frequently is different. That's why you're not checking all the children, you're only checking selective children. Yes or no?
Yes.
Make a record. Write Ramya Raman there. Write today's date there. Make your observations. Short observations. How many times did I show tantrums today? 6 times, 4 hours. Bad. Tomorrow, just once. Day after tomorrow, none. Then after 15 days, one more time I did 3 times tantrums. What is happening? It's an irregular pattern, correct? All of you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So,
Yes.
when it's an irregular pattern, it cannot be a behavior. However, if it is happening relatively in frequent intervals, then it's a red alert. Making sense?
Yes.
Right. Same thing, data holds good for all the bottom ones. Getting annoyed or irritated very easily. Snapping. Not talking. Looking at me, making frowns. That could be one. Refusal to listen. Unable to follow rules. Now here, there are options. When you say rules, you will give 5 rules to the class. Okay, children, first let us finish our lunch. Then let us all go out, play for 5-10 minutes. Then we come back inside, wash our hands and face. Then we come to our class, eat our snack. What is happening? There are 3 or 4 rules you've put, correct? Correct. First we go out, then we play, then we wash our hands and feet. Then we eat a small snack. Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Some children can take 4 rules. Some children can take only 1 rule. That is another important element all of you need to focus. I repeat, some children can take 4 rules and can remember it and do it systematically. Some children might go haphazard, might go to the first rule, then go to the third rule, then go to the second rule. That is an alarm. Third, some children might listen only to the first rule and might not understand second and third rule. Can all of you go on mute, please? Put you all on mute. No problem. So these are also important. You need to. Ouch. I think somebody's mic is on.
Hi, sir. Hey, take you back. Take you back.
Okay.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
Audible
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Yes, now.
Now audible, ma'am. Ma'am, again not audible.
Again, you are in mute, ma'am.
Okay. I think when the host is muting everybody, even I get muted. It looks like. That's okay. Again, important, eating. An average toddler, you know how much he eats. But if it's a little too much or too little, is also a reason for an alarm. I don't think I
Ma'am, we can't hear it.
Not coming, ma'am.
I just now unmuted. I think I'm getting the host is muting me. He's trying to mute everybody, he's muting me also. That's okay. That's okay. So are you all able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Aggressive behavior of siblings. Okay. Aggressive behavior, not just in school. Are they doing it at home? Are they doing it with the games that they play in their club or their garden or their apartment? So these are data that needs to be collected from the parent. Showing tendency to fight with or hurting others, hurting themselves, trying to hurt himself also is a big question mark. Finding it difficult to learn, feeling unhappy. Is the child always crying? Is the child always closed and sitting in a corner? Is the child not ready to open his hands? He's just sitting with his hands folded like this. Is he somebody who doesn't like anybody in his proximity? Does he like? Probably he doesn't like people touching him. There are so much of information that needs to be collected. I again repeat, do you see a bullet point from the bottom third? Lying?
Yes, lying.
Be careful. It is no child would lie, correct? But there is a high probability that they will do. So please do not take the data given by them at the face value. Children nowadays are good with pretension. Children nowadays are very good with lying. So be careful. Has anybody come across a situation in class like this where a child is lied? Anybody? A situation where the child has lied to you? Anybody? Now before lying, there is a word called interruption or interrupting. This is another important element that all of you need to, junior and senior KGs, correct? They don't know that they are lying. They just say, they just get anything to get importance, anything to get that focus, anything to get your attention. They are ready to do. That's where this happens. Interruption is another important element which most of the times we ignore. Interruption, when a child keeps interrupting, that's a behavior issue. Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If there is a child that a child is having a question and you went ahead and you answered him. Okay. After 2 minutes, again he comes back. Then again you answer him. Then again he comes back. This is not something which is nice. This is a red flag. Okay. Breaking rules by default, you know, I know. Okay. And playing rough. Some children are highly aggressive and physical. Highly physical. Those children should be really taken into consideration for an immediate help. Fair enough. So these are just few elements. I thought I should share it with all of you. Do you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the impact of all the elements that we just now saw in this previous slide? How does that affect the behavior and development of a child? You know the results. They don't listen well, correct? They don't focus. Sometimes they listen, but they are not having patience. Sometimes they listen, but they don't have the patience. Guys, somebody is muting me. I don't know why. Right. So when I say the second bullet point, listening, waiting, and sharing their feelings have reduced. What does that mean? Anybody can tell me?
I think due to COVID, they were reserved within themselves. So they don't want to share their feelings or anything with anyone. Social interactions.
Social interactions are much, much lesser. Feeling sharing is much, much lesser because they've got more addicted to the gadgets. Right? So they feel more connected with the gadget versus human. Gadgets never ask you questions. Gadgets will play what you want them to play. Gadgets will give you bright colors and loud noise. Gadgets don't question them or interrupt them. Why will they want you? Correct, no? So this is one major element that has become a problem. And I'm not blaming parents. Remember, during COVID time, even you took classes online. Online taking classes means laptop. Not everybody has a laptop. You had phones. Correct? There was no personal connect. I had to sit at one place and see. Then eventually mobiles were given. So that the mother is cooking food in the kitchen, the child has got the phone in his hand and is watching. The addiction has become higher. Correct. They don't want to wait. You're bang on, Saidaji. You're absolutely right. They don't have patience. That's why. They are like that instant 2-minute Maggi noodle. Actually, even if it is 1-minute Maggi noodle, they'll be happy. They want instant answers, instant gratification, instant response. That is where the problem is. Again, because of the gadgets being there, the interaction with people have reduced. So everything has become mine. My phone, my laptop, my toy, because nobody came to my house to play. When nobody came to my house to play, the toy was mine. The chair in which the wheels are there when dad doesn't sit is mine. The sofa is mine. The big TV is mine. Everything is mine. So how do I share it with you? Why do I share it with you? Correct? So giving, taking has also become something which has gone out of hands. They don't believe anything which is yours. It is all mine. Right? And have you, I think the spelling went wrong, I'm sorry. Decrease in terms of, talking skills. They do not want to wait for their time to talk. Anish, please wait, I'm coming. Let me finish with Arav. I'll come to you. You listen to me first. I should be done. I have so much data to tell you. Right? So this is another important impact that this COVID has made. And it is showing on the behavior of the child. Okay? There could be many more, but this slide is critical for all you beautiful professionals. Please look.
Bedwetting, frequent tempers,
Correct. Please remember, certain things can only be handled by you. You are a teacher. You are a facilitator. You are a teacher.
Who told you? I know everything. All information I have. Why you all are doing like this? Messy. Why it comes out? How it comes out? I know. Srilata ma'am. I know that loudspeaker we have to cut it. With loudspeaker. Srilata ma'am.
Are we done with the crosstalk?
Ramya ma'am, I'm muting everyone. You kindly unmute yourself and speak. I'm muting everyone.
Okay. Okay. Now, this slide is important for all you beautiful professionals. Reason being, please understand you are teachers. You only are certified to teach. Okay? You have a certain way in IRIS that needs to be taught. You are teaching that methodology. That is all you are certified. But you need to identify signals that are leading to the behavior change. Okay? So yes, you really have to be aware if the child is if we have a daycare and the child is sleeping at our place, check on the bedwetting scenario, whether it's night or day. Is the child being bathroom trained? Are there frequent tantrums that the child is showing? Is there a connection with the sibling or parent or grandparent that the child has, that there is a separation anxiety? Okay. Fearfulness, is the child scared of something? And last but not the least, identifying the baby talk. I know when a child is of 3 years, 4 years and above, we know they have certain way of talking, certain grammatical usage, correct? Now, if there is still a not usage of that level of conversation, then there is an escalation. Why am I sharing this with you? Because then these elements can also add to the behavior change that will affect the study element at school. So this is a big vicious circle. Are you all with me on this? I remember one incident that happened in one of the daycares where the child was always on diaper. Both the parents were working. They were potty training the child, but it was taking time. You also know, I also know, potty training is not easy. As a parent, you have to get up even at 2 o'clock in the morning to take the child to put him on the potty seat to, do the needful. For whatever reasons, the parents were failing. Irony, what happened was the child was growing up, still on diaper. invariably, because of the wetness, there was a lot of rashes in his personal area. Okay. And it was so bad, I can't tell you, because I saw it myself. That came to highlight is because when that Ayama would change the diaper but would not do the necessities of checking, she was doing it as a duty. When teachers started complaining to the parents saying, your child is not focusing in school, your child is having a lot of tantrums, your child is not sitting at one place, your child is very irritable, your child is perpetually scratching his groin, your child is, maybe it's unhygienic. But when the due diligence, when the research, when the homework, not research, when the homework was done, it was found out that it was a diaper rash. And because of that, the child could not sit on the seat because it would burn. And because it would burn, and the teacher would make him sit every time, say, sit down, Arav, sit down, Arav. The child used to get it was very painful for the child. And since it was painful, he would cry, and he would not just cry, he would howl in pain. Nobody understood it. Are you all with me on this? Reason why I'm sharing, sometimes there are behavior issues which might come because of unhygienic factors also. So before we involve management, before we involve parents, let us tick off every element. I hope I'm making sense. I know all of you are on mute, but I hope you can give a raise hand. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Okay, I'm going to show you a video, but again, I think it will not come with the, the video element. Hold on. I'll stop the presentation and play the video separately for you. Hold. Yes, anybody who's got any questions as of now with regards to what is being taught? Is that understood by everybody? Is it clear? Right, so let me play you the video. I like this video. I'm sure you will also like it. There is something called an ABCD rule. Okay, take your scribbling pads, pens, write it to the best of your ability. Then I will share it later again. I'm going to play it for a second. Confirm if you're able to listen. Yeah. Okay. Let me check. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
The variables that affect behavior are the things that occur before and the things that occur after. So we have an antecedent, then we have behavior, and then the third part of the chain is called a consequence. Typically, people view consequences as something negative, but really in behavior world, consequences are just things that occur after behavior. So let's say you have a child who engages in crying, and we pick the child up to console them. That might have actually reinforced the crying behavior. So like I said a minute ago, we never look at behavior in isolation. We're always looking at those variables that occur before the behavior and after the behavior. And the reason we do that is to try to figure out why the behavior is occurring in the first place. So when you're observing behavior, you're not just observing the student when they're crying or spitting or kicking or pinching or biting. You're looking at what occurs before it, like I said, it's the antecedent, and what occurs after it, which is the consequence. And in ABA, or in applied behavior analysis, we try to encourage people to consider changing the antecedent. So for example, if a child has a hard time with transitions, for example, they don't want to give up preferred items or activities, a way to change the antecedent might be to offer a timer, a visual timer, to show how long they get to engage.
Okay. I know she speaks extremely fast. I completely understand. So let me give you a short briefing of what she's told so far. Ready? So she says the behavior pattern comes even before the incident happens. So before the incident, then the incident, and then the conclusion or the result. Okay. And usually the result is usually that we see is usually, we point it as it's bad. It's not good. But she says, as a behavior expert, for me, that is the homework which is most important. So it's not usually bad. Now I gave you a diaper example. Was that a bad one? No, because it didn't hurt anybody, but it was hurting the child. But was it a bad repercussion? Yes, because of the diaper not being, or the hygiene was not taken care of. Okay, so there's a pre-homework, then there is a reason why it has happened, and then the result. So she's saying, observe on the behavior. Now, suppose if a child says, I don't want to leave this teddy bear of mine. This is my favorite. I'm going to hold it. He feels connected with that. As a teacher, you can work on one aspect which is called a timer. You can hold it for the next 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will go and play with this. Then we'll again come back and we'll take this. So what is happening? You're giving it a timeline, so the child is also preparing that once the time comes, the doll would have to give up, right? So have a look at the video. I'll go and explain it to you further.
In the preferred activity, or we might give them a first then card to show them that first they get their toy play, then it's time for snack. And then you could even make a first then card where you show the child toy play, then snack, then outside time. And that gives that level of predictability for students, and that helps them relinquish some of those preferred activities because they have an idea of what's coming next. So we've now talked about changing the antecedent. One of the other things we have to do is teach the behavior that you want to see. So a lot of times teachers and other adults will tell me that they want to have the baby stop crying, or the child stop kicking, or stop hitting, or stop biting. We have to try to figure out what the child can do instead to get their needs met. So for example, if the child wants to eat and they're screaming because they want a snack, maybe we could give them the words like, I want snack now, or a picture to request a snack, or even a voice output device that says snack please. So we have to teach that behavior that you want to see and then reinforce that. And that's where the consequence comes in.
Okay. First one is A is to alternate, B is to behavior. She very clearly gave very nice examples, right? So child is still improving. This is a very important element for all you teachers. Just because we teach them vocabulary, just because we teach them pronunciation, just because we teach them consonants and vowel sounds, just because we teach them, phonics, they do not have a dictionary in place. They're just blindly following you. So having said that, you need to start giving them alternates. These could be the reasons also because why they're irritated, or their behavior is changing differently. So very nice example that she said, when a child is hungry, I don't know about you, but when I'm hungry, I am out of my wits. I am so all over the place. Okay. So identify if the child is hungry, identify whether he wants to go to the washroom. So we need to give him one word that he can resemble or associate with, right? Like she very nicely said, snack please, or apple please, or any of the fruit that is there in his bag. So when we identify the behavior, now the word takes in the importance of the behavior pattern. Are you all with me on this? Look, let's continue and finish with this video with the next element.
That's where the C part of the behavior chain is. So the child's hungry, they see a snack on the shelf, you teach them to request the snack, and then automatically and immediately we reinforce with the snack. And that's your consequence, which makes up your ABC chain.
Yes, any questions on the ABC part? Does it make sense to you? Is it relevant? Any questions on these? You can unmute and answer. Consequence. C stands for consequence. Amrita, C stands for consequence. Matlab, Now when the child says, for example, the child says, I'm hungry, can I have a fruit please? Or can I have my snack please? So he's saying the word snack and he's saying the word please. That means there's a request. So there's a behavior change. Instead of shouting and howling, right? Then I give him the snack for the statement that he said. So C means consequence. What is the consequence? You return him with a gift. Which is the gift? The snack. Okay, Amrita? Right. Anybody who's got questions on these? A is identifying the behavior. 2 is putting a pattern to the behavior, a structure to the behavior, not by shouting, howling, or running away, or standing up on the chair, or beating somebody. The behavior has to have a set word. Okay, so that identification needs to be done by the teacher along with the child and be taught. So once the practice happens, when the child next time uses it, you give him with the reward, which is the snack that he's asked for. Any questions here? Are you all able to relate and understand? All right. Let me take you on with some more inputs. Can you see the slide? Why some reasons why these issues might be of bigger consequence. This was already shared with you in the video as well, but I again reiterate it. Family dynamics, parental issues, listening to a lot of no than listening to a lot of yes, absolute low self-esteem because of the no that has been coming for so long. No proper nutrition, the food that is being given to the child is all junk. So there's no iron or calcium or vitamins that are properly going into the system, you know, for the body to operate well, for the brain to be more active. You know, food that are being given are probably very heavy for the child. That also could be an issue, right? Now, when you see the last two bottom ones, exposure to drug and alcohol, this is before the child is born, when the lady is pregnant, or even before that, if she's had any of these, you know, smoking, drinking habits. But the last but one, cultural expectation, experiences of the child, rearing practice. Most of us ignore this. There's a lot of cultural dynamics that works on a behavior pattern of a child. हमारे में ना बच्चों को ज्यादा नहीं उठाते हैं. We don't carry our child too much. I've breastfed the baby, I've fed the baby, I've put him on the jhula and I'm gone. When again the baby cries, then I come, I do whatever needful. I don't carry my child everywhere. I don't hold my baby all the time. No. In our culture, we don't allow anybody to hold the child. Leave the baby alone. This is called an issue of non-touch. He's not used to being touched by his family, carried and loved and shown affection by the family. This also could be one of the defective areas of concern that can show on the behavior aspect. So how the psyche works is, if I've not had a parent or a grandparent's affection for too long, then I don't like people around me. I don't want them to come closer to me. I hate people around me. Getting what I'm talking about, everybody? So a lot of homework needs to be done to identify these crises, right? Some important elements again coming up to you. Please understand, that's why the ABC, ka B factor is important. Children are still learning language. They still don't know how to express their difficult times. They don't know how to express their anger, frustration, depression. anxiety. They know something is wrong. They know something is not going well. They know something is unhappy. But what? They don't know because they don't have words to say. Now, here is one thing. I'm sure Dimple ma'am and all the other teachers sitting here today, please give me inputs. Do you do the feeling aspect part of the curriculum? Is that a part of your curriculum?
Come again. What is the part of the curriculum, Ramya ma'am?
Understanding feelings, understanding, identifying, showing feelings.
Yes, absolutely. Rather, this academic year, we are focusing more on emotional intelligence as well.
Super. I think that's the best way to start. Padhai likhai hoti rahegi. This element is important. I'm so proud of Iris that you're doing it. Because this is what I've been telling in my counselings also. Always work, because children don't have vocabulary yet. The only language they know is the body language. The body has a language of its own. He can kick and show his anger. He can kick and show his happiness. We need to be smart enough to identify it. That's why this feeling and understanding element is critical. So before you even give up on the child, talk to the child to identify what feeling it is. The child should be able to identify whether he is sad, whether he is hungry, whether he is missing mom, dad, whether he's missing, he wants to sleep, he's just too tired. These are elements he needs to be able to identify. So spend some good amount of time in sharing and expressing feelings. Ask if the child is himself not able to say, elicit answers from the child by asking him about the feeling, because when you are able to identify it, you can see whether it's a temporary pattern or a behavior pattern. Am I understood? Right? So these are some very important elements that I was trying to show you about. Because they don't have words, they are overwhelmed, they are frustrated, they can't pinpoint and speak. So that becomes a challenge. Second important element is highly impulsive. It is not just them, I'll be very honest. We adults are also become very impulsive after COVID. Very impulsive after COVID. So children have to be. Okay. So they are the people, they are about, how would I say? They are in a current situation, current here and now position. So you have to be somebody who should be able to guide them for a future plan ahead. When I say this, all I mean is, if there is a behavior element, child is not comfortable, child is showing you some pattern, understand where the pattern is coming from, what happened just about half an hour prior to this, what triggered it. Can I give a behavior word to this for the child to identify? Can I see a pattern that I can plan for him for the act? Okay. Couple of things that I've written here, that's for itself read. Any questions on these, please let me know. Children love power. Children love control like we adults love. It is my class, it is my pen, it is my book. Right? Children love to do that. So whenever they feel, yes. Anybody who's got a question?
Friends, I think with this, we are able to relate a few children who are there in our class. Kindly feel free to ask if you are unable to handle or manage a few kind of children. Because of late, post-COVID, we have been observing a number of children growing where we are unable to manage their behaviors. So as in when Ramya ma'am was giving training, I was able to recall a few students also, because that was really where I felt that, yes, they fall under so-and-so category. So please, friends, feel free to ask.
Yeah, anybody's got a question? Any question, because we only have half an hour. I'll come to the aggressive child behavior in a bit, but anybody's got a question so far? That's okay. You can hold on to your questions too. That's not a problem. But it'll be nice if you can ask. Many of us can get the advantage of it.
Very true. Even I agree. Friends, you can type and send us your question also.
Okay, I will go ahead, try and see the video to play for you. Excuse me. Give me just a minute. I'm just playing the video for you. Can you see the screen?
In children, aggression is
Audible? Dimple, can you confirm it's visible, audible?
And audible. It's visible and audible, Ramya ma'am.
children between the ages of 3 to 8 and teenagers and occurs for various reasons. What causes aggressive behavior in kids? 1. Impulsive behavior can be mistaken for aggression when the child behaves extraordinarily and acts spontaneously without reason.
Sorry, you can't hear? Can you hear?
Ramya ma'am, there is one query from one of the teachers in chat box. If you can address that, please.
Yes.
There are two queries.
Okay, I can only see one. Where's the other one? Okay, I have a 5-year-old in the class. Great. So, ma'am, my question to you, with your years of experience that you have had, plus this little fellow being in your class for some time now, how is his lunch? And why do you think he's not a preference of eating? Did you manage to ask him? I'm sure you must have done your due diligence. I would love to know the data.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, ma. Please tell me.
Ma'am, a small concern. Actually, I have a kid in my class who keeps on, he's a late joinee already. He joined around in the month of August, like that. And he is actually, I don't want to mention the religion here, but he's not a regional language guy.
Okay.
So he can't easily communicate with his friends also. And the main problem with him is like whatever I say, he keeps on repeating whatever I say, my words. Whatever I say to whomever I talk, he'll be repeating my words only. But looking at his knowledge-wise, he's super. He can write any letter, any alphabet. He's very good at orals. Whatever I say, he can remember it forever. If I say once, he'll remember it forever. So now, I don't have any problem with his academics, but only with his behavior. Like, he don't follow the instructions so easily.
What do you think can be one way of making this guy be your representative? Think. Is there any way where we can make this guy your representative? In the sense, he does it for you. Are you with me, Shalini ma'am? Am I audible or am I gone? Okay, I'm audible. Can somebody respond? Okay, thank you for the thumbs up. So I think I'm audible and visible as well. So my question is very simple. When you have a toddler in the class, when you have a student in the class who is repeating what you say, but is absolutely good with his comprehension, is good with understanding, is good with his alphabets, subject wise is good, then I think you should start giving him responsibilities. This guy seeks attention. And the advantage that you have is you have an assistant for you already. So what you can tell is you can call him closer to you. This is one thing all of you can try. Call him closer to you. Do not disclose it in the class. Call him closer to you. Speak it to him in his ears. For example, if his name is Aditya, you say, Adi, what I want you to do is can you help me? Yes, ma'am. So can you ask the class to repeat this word 5 times, please? Can you ask everybody to finish this writing of A alphabet 5 times and give it to me, please? Can you collect the books, please? So one way of looking at it is he's becoming repetitive is also because he feels that he needs that importance to be given. When others are listening to you, why are others not listening to me? Same thing I'm also repeating, no?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
actually, I do that, ma'am. Actually, I will involve him in every class activity. I make him to distribute the books, and I ask him to be like standing and keep on repeating the rhymes and the alphabets and all.
Correct.
Everything is fine, ma'am. But when I sit and when I'm talking to maid also, like with the maid, we use a regional language, right? We talk in Telugu. We can't. He's using all those words. I'm in a mind like where he's using all those words again at home.
So that is one very nice answer you yourself gave. And I'm proud of you. I think unknowingly it came out of your mouth. This is one thing, even when I do parental counseling, I tell this, and I'm doing a teacher counseling today, so I'm telling you all this as well. Be careful of your behavior. Be careful of your language. I'm not saying you're talking any abusive language. No, I'm not saying that. But when you're using a regional language and you know you have a child in the class who is actually keenly observing you, for him you're an idol, Shalini. For him you're an idol. He looks up to you. He wants to be like you. So everything that you do is for him is something which is very nice. I want to be like Shalini, ma'am. So especially when this guy is around and you have to talk to somebody something, you walk up to that person, speak softly and come back. You can't verbalize it loud. For some time you will have to make this as a practice. This I tell even parents. Whenever you talk, be careful with your tone, be careful of the words you use. He loves you, Shalini ma'am, so he is looking forward to getting the same attention which everybody gives you. So you can't blame that guy. That guy is like crazy. He's like, I want to be like this lady. So he's a gem. The only thing we can do is we can be careful. And this care that you have, remember, I don't know where he's using these words. I don't know if it'll back, because parents, you can't guarantee. They can come back with any doubts, any questions. So to keep yourself safe, the only advice I will give, in case you have something to talk to the support staff, you walk up to them. You walk up to the support staff, talk to them or call them closer to you, finish the discussion as silently and as softly as possible and close the view. That way you are safe. And as far as you are taking help of this little fellow is concerned, proud of you. Keep doing it, nothing will happen. It's just a matter of copying you, that's okay. Have you not copied your mom ever? Have you not copied your grandmother ever? He's also copying you, that's all. Don't worry. So long as he's copying good habits, be proud of it. Okay, Shalini ma'am, I hope I was able to answer your question. when a child has got anxiety issue, and how did you figure out he's got anxiety issue? Did anybody tell you? Did you find those character traits? Were you able to talk to his parents? Okay. Mother told. Fair enough. So how is he at home? How is he at home? Did you talk to the mother and ask how is he when he's around people? Okay. He also talks normally. He tells everything about school is because the environment is very friendly. The environment is safe. The environment is familiar with people that he loves. Here he has to start loving you. I'm not saying he doesn't love you, but there are already too many children who love you. So he feels left out. You're getting where I'm coming from? There in the house, it's only Amma and me, or Amma, me and my brother. So the focus, the focus, the attachment, the thing is not disturbed or distributed among different people. Here there are 30 children looking at you. For everybody, you are the mother. For that fellow also, you are the mother. He doesn't want to be shared. So he feels this environment of 30 new people is overwhelming for him. It's overwhelming for him. He needs one-on-one interaction. He cannot open up openly like that. And he's way too young, ma'am. At least if it's a 16, 17, 18-year-old child, we can still talk to him and ask him to write and stuff like that. This fellow is too young. All you can show is a lot of affection, which you're already doing. That is okay. Anxiety is just a little bit of a disorder in the brain. Certain chemicals are not operating or not releasing the way it has to ideally release. That is all it is. So at that point, that anxiety could be for multiple reasons. Anxiety could be a new environment that I'm in. Environment could, home environment is safe. This environment is overwhelming. Too many people around, too many noises, too much of knowledge, too much of data, too much of activity, no relaxation for me. So there are so many things that the child goes through. All I know she is good with academics. Academics do not guarantee that the child is good. So do not worry. This child needs utmost personal attention. So when you're talking to the public, come and personally talk to me. Then go back to public, then come back and talk to me. That's all the child wants. You are for me. So once he finishes and makes that strong bond with you, he'll be able to open up with you. He will come. But you need to give him some personal focus. That's okay. He doesn't know what is late, what is early, no, Baba. Saida ji, he doesn't know what is late, what is early. Usko kya pata bacche ko? Mummy papa ne utha ke school mein dal diya, wo aa gaya. He doesn't know what is late, what is early. It is you who knows. So don't blame it on the child. It's okay. It is okay. Remember, Ma, I know Iris has got its own reasons. I know Iris has got its own reasons, or it's got its own threshold, it's got its own pressure, it has got its own limitations. I completely understand. There are times when you will be wondering कि इस बच्चे को promote करूं भी नहीं करूं, उसके लायक है कि नहीं है. Correct? According to Iris rules, this guy doesn't even go into the next class. But according to you, other activities is super duper hit. He just doesn't write. But when you talk to him, he's too good. Don't you think you're doubting his intelligence? Just because he's not writing? So it's okay. It is okay. The child doesn't know he came late. And just because he came late because of his parents' reasons, you can't overpressure on this guy. Not right. So my humble submission to all of you is, it's okay. When others are habituated, not all 5 fingers are the same. This child is not the same. It's okay. It is okay to be late. It is fine. हर बच्चा अलग है, ये आप मुझसे अच्छा जानते हो. So सबको एक ही कटोरी में क्यों डाल रहे हो, एक ही बास्केट में क्यों डाल रहे हो? You already told me anxiety है. You already told me कि वो open up नहीं होता है. Then there is another reason that he joined in late. इतना reasons होने के बाद भी expect him to act normally, thought it is wrong, no? Correct? नहीं माँ, you're a beautiful teacher. You remain a beautiful teacher. Don't get into this. अब बच्चे को बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर डाल दोगे. It's not right. आपको भी पता है ना दिल से. You also know it within your heart, right? कि इतने लेट में तो बच्चा ज्वाइन होता है तो उसको प्रेशर होगा ही. करेक्ट ना? मत करो. उसको प्यार चाहिए, प्यार दो. आएगा, करेगा. When the time comes, he will do it. Give it some time for you to understand him also, no? Separation anxiety chal rahi hogi. Strange place that he's joined is another scare he has got. I don't want to eat because this is a strange place and strange people. I am not used to sitting and eating on the table. I like to sit down and eat. I like to eat it with my hand. Maybe I don't like to eat with my hand. I like to eat it with a fork and a knife. God knows what is the upbringing that he's having at home. There are so many things that are involved. Maybe the food that he gets is something that he's not happy with. How many of you were happy with the food your parents used to, your mom used to give you in the lunchbox? Don't lie. Don't lie. I used to hate it. Every second day I used to have upma. Either suji upma, or it used to be bambino upma, or there used to be poha. Abba, it used to be so irritating after some time. I'm not expecting every parent to be an excellent cook, but that used to hit me also. So I don't know whether the child is liking it or not, right? So there could be that reason also. So there's a lot of homework we need to do. I wish I could do this class face to face. It would have been greater. But anyway,
Ramya ma'am, there is one more message in the chat box. If you can address that.
Class 1 boy is there. When I'm teaching, suddenly he uses to sing loudly in a regional language. Then the whole class will be disturbed. Acha, Jyoti Garu, how often does he sing? How often does he sing in one particular class? How many times does he sing? Give me a random number. Once, twice? Aha, every day ledamma. Oka class lo, oka period. Oka period lo, how many times does he sing and disturb? Twice. Great. So we'll do one thing. Okay, this is one experiment I did. It worked for me. Let's see if it works for you. Before you start the class, okay, let's make it a routine. Before we start the class, talk to this person, this Chotu little fellow. Talk to him and tell him, I will give you a chance to sing, but for the next half of the class, you will not sing. Again, when I tell you to sing again, you will sing. If you promise, I'll let you sing now. Let us all enjoy your music. Okay? So it's a very nice way of introducing song to the class, and he also feels everybody's listening to him. Okay? After some time, when you are also human, you also get tired, then you can again pull him up and say, Karthik, you can sing now one more time. You can sing a different song. Can anybody suggest one song for Karthik? Maybe he'll sing us one song. So now when Karthik has sang for one day, next day there'll be another student say, Madam, I want to sing. Excellent. So let's start with Karthik. Second half of the day, this person will sing. So unknowingly, you're encouraging the child to even speak up in public. You're bringing up the self-confidence in the child. And you're telling him, you want to sing, I'll give you a chance to sing. But again, no disturbing in the class, okay? Are you ready? Would you want to sing now? Or would you want to sing later? No, madam, I will sing now. Okay, that means after singing now, then later you cannot sing till ma'am tells you, okay? You'll have to keep quiet. Can you promise me that? Yes, ma'am. Now, he's not an adult that he remembers what promise means. He'll keep breaking it. But you are the one who's supposed to repeat this statement again. Karthik, I gave you a chance, remember? You promised me, so you need to keep quiet for another 10 minutes. See, the clock is moving. Another 10 minutes, the clock will come to 11. 11 o'clock, you can sing. I promise. 11 o'clock, we'll listen one more song from Karthik. Till then, Karthik will keep quiet. It worked in my class. I'm not saying it will work in yours, but you have to experiment it. You will have a lot of students who will come up saying, I want to sing. Make it a jolly ride. Make the learning good. Make it as a fun way of learning. It is your class. Play it the way you want it. Now that Karthik has sung a Telugu song, anybody else who wants to sing a Hindi or an English song, any song is okay. Then somebody will come for a dance. Okay. Before I finish the session and before the bell rings, let's do one dance from, say, Dimple. Let Dimple dance today. So Dimple goes ahead and dances. Beautiful. I would love to have a teacher who loves to encourage with the class element, getting this exposure forward. Am I making sense? Jyoti Garu, would you want to try this once and not once, but a couple of times and see how it works for you?
Hope I'm not supposed to do now, Ramya ma'am.
Sorry?
Hope I'm not supposed to do now.
No, we shall do it. You can still do it. We are still live and active. That's why I said Dimple. I didn't say Dimple ma'am.
Actually.
No, just pulling your leg.
I know.
Nice to see you with the camera on. Oh my God.
Thank you.
I was like dying alone. Radhika ma'am, after saying bye-bye, now he's come. Oh my God. Look, everybody's only coming after when you have to say bye.
No. I'm there from the beginning listening to you.
No, I was seeing.
I know.
I'm talking about seeing.
No, everybody, I think everybody should switch on their cameras, right?
They should ideally, yes.
Yes, at least we'll know who is there, who is not there.
Yes.
I request everyone to please switch on their cameras. We'll take one group photograph also. I request everyone.
That everybody will join.
Oh, wow. Beautiful faces.
Oh, yeah. Lots of beautiful faces.
Yes.
And I'm only seeing at the end of the journey. Good. Yes, anybody who's got any questions? Or questions, the camera will still work. You can still ask me questions. Unless somebody, like we have this habit, no? When the photos are getting clicked, all of us go silent.
I think we can continue now, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Sure, we are almost at the end of the class, so thanks for your patience, but I have a few important elements to show you before we close for the day. Okay. Now, can you see the slide? These are some experiential inputs that I'm sharing with all of you. If there is any kind of aggression, how to tame it down, how to calm it down. focus from what they can do than what they can't do. So this is an important element. There are children who get frustrated because they're not able to do a certain activity in a certain way. Are you all able to see it? Okay. Certain children get very agitated, aggravated. Aggression is high, anger is high when they cannot do a certain job in a certain way. So instead of we as faculty, instead of we as teachers, rather than focusing on what they can't do, let's focus on what they can do. So basically diverting the focus, moving the element. Okay. Are you all with me? Okay, so can somebody give me an example of what they can't do and what they can do? Element? Any idea?
Online meeting, training होतो. એટલે ચાલુ કરાવીને પછી
डिम्पल आप म्यूट पे चले जाओ. Dimple, you need to be on mute.
પૂછો આજે ઓલી એક ઓનલાઈન ટ્રેનિંગ હતી એટલે બીજી ટ્રેનરને કીધું હતું એ ટ્રેનિંગ લેવાની હતી પણ હવે આપણે ઓફિસમાં.
Okay. That's okay. Are you all with me? Right. Let me give you a quick example. Usually we have this habit of saying, don't do this, right? We do that, right? So instead of saying, don't do this, can we do this? Instead of this, can we do this? If there's a child who is writing on the wall with crayons, non-washable. So instead of saying, don't write there, can we say, can we write it here? Can we use this wall? Can we use only your desk to draw pictures? Are you able to understand the difference? Instead of can't do word, which is like a no word, I use can do word with an alternate. Number one. Number two. Whenever there is aggression, it could be any kind of aggression. Throwing things, kicking, jumping, pushing. So first of all, you and I end up losing it. We are human. It is bound to be. First things first, drop everything that you're doing. Hold the child close to you. And first calm your breathings down. Don't even utter a word. That's why I wrote there, talk less. Baati mat karo. You don't even have to give me gyan of what I did and what I did not do. Right now, when there is an agitated situation, before the issues get out of hand and the safety is a concern, first get the child closer to you and do not speak a word. Because the child is in no mood to hear you. You have nothing to say in one word. So why do you open your mouth? Okay? Very good. Understood? Any questions? Okay. Third element. Step back. When I say step back, that means pause, set boundaries, communicate and make an action plan. It is not as easy. And even if you make an action plan, it might not be as easy to implement. Because the audience you're handling is a kid, chotu bacha. He will keep forgetting. You have to again get him back. Babu, listen, what did you promise me? See, you said you would do this, right? We need to work on this, right? How can I help you if you do this way? Is this the right way to do? Can we look at it? So you'll have to come. Not easy. But these boundaries should be set along with the child. Am I clear? Last but not the least, again I repeat, this is only for children who are aggressive or have behavioral issues. Other children are a blessing. Fair enough. Talk about identify. This is exactly what I was saying. Help them identify feelings. Nowadays, I've started observing teenagers have got into this very dirty habit. I don't know. I can't understand. I don't know what that feeling is. This I don't know is a very irritating word. Don't let this child get into that habit. So whenever you're teaching the feeling element, whenever you see a critical state situation like this, talk and help them identify the feeling. Because if they are able to identify the feeling, we can give them some remedy to it. Are you all with me? Right? I have given you some tips and tricks. I just hope at least one of them at least works for you. Okay, how to handle difficult children or child. Understand the root cause. This root cause will take time. It cannot be overnight. There'll be a lot of talking to the child, cross-checking the data with the parent, cross-checking the data with other teachers and siblings. Everything needs to be done. Second, establish boundaries of what can be done, what cannot be done, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. Okay? You staying calm and then the child will remain calm, but first we need to stay calm. Next, make sure the child feels heard. That means drop everything. Everything. Drop it for that moment. Listen out to the child what his feelings are. Identify the reasons of why he's feeling what he's feeling. Understand the ABC of it. We should be able to understand this much, much better as we go along. You're already doing a wonderful job of rewarding, correct? Putting a star, giving a gold star, appreciating, right? Writing in the diary, writing in the chart paper in the classroom. Yes, no. Putting a star in the hand. You're doing a fabulous job. Fabulous job. And last but not the least, please remember, child is still not good with vocabulary, so he'll take time. So when you're talking to a child, be patient. Patient in explaining, patient in receiving explanation. Both. Okay? This is again this is an understanding last class. Some teachers had mentioned, sorry, I'm having my medication, I'm chewing my medication. So last class, some teachers had mentioned that the children don't write. I did a little homework on this. I'm sharing it with you. But my favorite one is the last one. Pray for the wisdom, not the wisdom book, but for the wisdom of the parent and the children. But jokes apart, there are lots of games available on internet when it helps us to improve children in writing. Okay, there is a question that's come. Shireen ma'am. From junior KG, one child won't listen to teacher's instruction every time he wants to eat. He will roam here and there and won't sit at a place. But when he is learning in school, but whatever he's learning in school, he shares with the family. Little different from with other children. We are unable to find what problem and behavior issue he has. When you had a conversation, Ashwin ma'am, एक काम करें ना, डिम्पल मैम से फोन नंबर मेरा ले लें and call me. ठीक है?
Yes, Ramya ma'am, please tell me.
हाँ, आप ना शिरीन मैम को नंबर दे दो ना मेरा.
Okay.
ठीक है? तो मैं उनसे बात कर लूंगी because I need a lot of data.
Right. Shireen ma'am, right?
हाँ जी.
Shireen ma'am, when you are from which center? That will be easy even for us also, right?
Okay, I'll do one thing. Dimple ma'am, आप सबको नंबर.
I'll do that.
Adilabad.
Okay.
ठीक है, because class का time छोटा है, otherwise I would have been able to explain. But mota for all the teachers who have challenges where a child doesn't write, okay? There are multiple ways of doing it. I have done it with my child, it worked beautifully well, where I did I Can wala book, but this I did ages ago. So ये I Can wala book है कि मैं क्या क्या कर सकती हूँ. For example, I can cook, okay, or I can make sandwich. So when you have this I Can wala book, no, you are supposed to draw and you're supposed to write sandwich. So if you have come to the kitchen today and you have cooked, say, golgappa banaya, okay, you made golgappa for everybody. So you'll make small circles there, you'll draw it and write pani puri. You're still writing, no? Right? Then you give coloring crayons to color it. So that's my scrapbook for the whole week. You know? So that is one way of encouraging a child to start writing small elements. Again, important. As an IRIS teacher, IRIS as a brand, as a unit that I've been associated for so many years, I feel are very open to changes. So I have personally not seen them restrict anybody in terms of experimenting. So please see what you can do best in your class. If there is any tweaking in your teaching methodology that you can do, obviously take a consent from your senior management and then see how it works. Then maybe if your formula works, it will work for every unit. So that can become as a learning curve for everybody. So try and see something new that you can do in school, which can help the child write. Maybe ask him to assist you in attendance, taking attendance, making a tick or a cross for people who have come, not come. That could be a very beautiful beginning. Okay. Writing today's lesson as maybe teaching about apple. So write the word apple there, call the person, make him write with colorful crayons. I'm sure you're already doing it, but all this is a method of teaching which you'll have to explore as you keep going by. And like I said, my last favorite one, pray for wisdom. So kindly do that. And I hope today's session made sense. Any questions? Was I able to add any value to your learning today? I don't know. We put everybody on mute. If they can unmute and talk, I don't know. Thanks, Amrita, for the confirmation. Appreciate it. Yes. Did the class make sense? Thanks, Kavita. Thanks, Sangeeta, ma'am. Appreciate it. No, every inputs that you give, it'll only make me do a better job of helping. Yes, there are lots of queries that have still not been answered. You can take my number and you can take my number from Dimple ma'am or Radhika ma'am. They should be able to give you. Or maybe, ma'am, you can collect the data and probably then I can leave a voice note. Or we'll figure out something.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah. Otherwise, I had a good time. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I just pray that you keep doing beautiful work like you've always been doing. And IRIS as a brand, kudos. Give us that liberty to work around, which you've always been doing. I think it'll be fabulous for all the teachers.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
You've got wonderful, like Rupa ma'am, she has done wonderful session. Known and known, ma'am, thank you. Looking forward for even more such sessions. We have lined up with so many sessions and we have given the dates also to the centers so that you can make yourself free for that particular day and learn many more things for the betterment of the children.
So
for everybody, right?
Everybody, all learning.
Yeah.
From you, I learn. From me, you learn. Mutual learning.
Yes, mutual learning, ma'am.
Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Amazing session. Appreciations are flowing in.
I know. I was reading that too. That's so sweet, so kind. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ma. You have a wonderful day ahead too. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramya ma'am, once again. And as usual, it was fantastic. It was amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I thank each and every member who have participated for taking time out. And it will be really successful if you can implement this. And thank you so much for participating in it. Thank you, everyone, friends.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.